What are some products where the name brand is actually worth buying over the generic? Knives and cookware. But even so, be careful. V product quality lines and the knife set from Henkel's or pots from All-Clad, or another good name, that you buy in Target or Costco is not the same as the one you buy in Williams Sonoma or the like. Check the specifics. Same goes for branded clothes like the North Face and Columbia. What you get at a big box isn't what you get from the manufacturer's site, or rate or similar. Best name brand Swiss Army knife, and their chef's knife is a low-cost, high-quality winner. Handmade clothing from local people who love what they do. 110 guarantee the fabric, materials, thread and sewing that goes into it is going to last 1,000 times longer than anything from a store the further we get from the NAFTA agreement taking hold. Sure, a lot of times people over the pond steal the patterns and sell it cheaper, but it's gonna last you about 4 wears until something happens, when something handmade generally will last years. Antibiotics. Most medications seem fine to buy generic, but after battling a terrible infection and using a week's worth of generic antibiotics, I got no ease at all. Got a box of name brand and took to pills. Boom. Like new. It probably helped a little, but it wasn't worth it. They were half the price, so I figured why not, but in the end I spent 1.5 times the price and was sick for longer. This comes up every once in a while, and my answer is always the same to products. Ziploc and Windex. First, the former has perfected zip close bags. Everyone else is an absolute failure and should just quit trying. Close up shop. It's game over. The latter is also unrivaled, whose P is simply smear glass cleaner instead of cleaning. Unless I will use the whole bag in a short period of time, I won't buy generic store brand sugar. I stick to Domino. I've had poor luck with the store brands turning to rock very quickly. When it is jelly canning season, I get the cheap stuff since I'll burn through £25 in a couple of weeks. The rest of the year I only buy Domino. There are many hand tools where you can get away with cheap brands to get the job done. However, there are a few tools that cheaping out on is just not really worth it at all. Flare nut wrenches come to mind. Brake bleeding vacuum tools. Seize bolt removers, cheap tape measures with no standout distance, small drill bits, car tires. The generic are cheap for a reason. They meet the bare minimum requirements and will not last nor perform well. Name brands actually perform, have RD behind them, and will be more likely to save your ass in a sticky situation. Snow winter tires are the big one for this in particular. Business attire. Adana Karen's suit is unbelievably good fitting and nice looking compared to whatever brand Macy's is selling this season. Also true, Ralph Lauren polo is a much better quality shirt than the knockoffs you get at Walmart and Target. It will last forever and always fit you great. Okay, I'll start. S. Lay's Original Yellow Bag, Fritos, Sensodyne Toothpaste, Coca-Cola, Smucker's Jams Jelly, Bounce Dryer Sheets, Cheer Laundry Detergent, Dawn Dishwashing Liquid, Kerrygold Butter, and many more items. Tons. I used to tutor my wife's cousins when they were in school. We did a science project showing the acid reactivity of various products. Generic terms barely fizzled when it came in contact with vinegar. The real thing overflowed our test tubes immediately. I always buy name brand tuna over store brand. Store brand doesn't taste as fresh. I also buy name brand pineapple. Store brands have blemishes and their quality control lets a lot more tough pieces of pineapple get packaged. Bikes. Bike shop versus a big box store gets you something that will last a long time and is repairable versus an object that looks like a bike but will fall apart before you're ready and cannot be repaired. Weird one, but tomato soup. All store brands I've tried are horrible, and I know someone will say they're made in the same factory or whatever. It may be the same factory, but it is not the same recipe. Campbell's Forever. I own a remodeling company, and spending the extra money for premium paint is so worth it. The extra initial expense laid out saves my labor and material costs considerably. I will never buy mid-level paint anymore. Tide Laundry Detergent. If you don't have a water softener in your house, you need Toad, because it contains the water softening agent in the blend which helps it clean a lot better. Painkillers, toilet paper, paper towels, bottled water. When you drink a lot you can tell the difference. Soy sauce, Kikkoman crew represent. Shoes, tires, brakes, engine oil. Tide. I actually did a science project on this in middle school comparing Tide with 2 other brands. It was the clear winner, and it even converted my mum to a Tide customer. Quaker Oats flavored instant oatmeal. I grew up with the cheap stuff. Quaker Oats actually tastes like oats. Store brand is like sawdust, unless things have changed. Kleenex tissues. Sam's Club has their own, but these are shedding tissue material as they are pulled up through the plastic film, and the Kleenex are just better. Condiments. Heinz for ketchup. Hunt's taste is sweet. Frenchies for mustard. Heinz is alright, but the color is unappetizing, and Ray's for BBQ sauce. Perfume. There are some exceptions, but generally, imitation scents aren't going to last as long or be as good of quality as the perfume there. Emulating. Pillsbury crescent rolls. I don't know why every supermarket brand finds it so impossible to cut them things into simple triangles, but it drives me nuts. If you are lucky enough to live by in Heb, you know their brand knocks your socks off. Not a fan of their low-carb tortillas though. I'll stick with Mission. Certain cleaning products. I used to work in a really greasy restaurant, and the difference between Pine Sol and generic pine cleaner was night and day. Cat litter for sure. The cheap stuff just makes this muddy, nasty mess. Also cat food. If you feed wet and dry you can skimp on one, but not the other. Anything that gets between you and the ground is worth spending good money on when you can. Shoes, mattresses, tires, and in most cases, safety gear. Cola, soda, Pepsi or Coke is so much better than the store brands. I'm fine with generic of Sprite, root beer, and Mountain Dew, but cola is a big no. Tempur-Pedic pillows. If you intend to suffocate somebody in their sleep, nothing but a Tempur-Pedic pillow gets the job done first time every time. Kim wipes for lens cleaning. Available from scientific and medical supply sources. Absolutely the best for cleaning glasses and screens at home. Bounty paper towels. Bought Meja brand ones and it was like toilet paper, but thinner. And I guess add toilet paper to that list as well. Shoes. You get what you pay for. If you buy at one of those cheap-ass locations in the mall, you get cheap-ass shoes. Good shoes cost money. Most practical things like survival gear, functional clothing, hiking boots, tools, etc., where demand is driven by quality and durability. Sriracha. I travel frequently, so it's hard to find the stuff in all countries. The substitute brands can't compare to high-form sriracha. If your job requires steel toes, Keen is the way to go. IMO 12-hour shifts on concrete, and my feet don't hurt at the end of the day. Q-tips, the cotton is attached more firmly. There's more of it, and the ones themselves don't bend as easily as the no-name ones. Tomato soup, no. Generic just doesn't taste the same. It's the only condensed soup I rather not eat than eat the generic brand of. Windex. All of the other glass cleaners I've bought leave streaks or some residue. It's one of the few things I'll pay for. Many may not agree because it's just us wipe, but I think Cortona in the purple pack is the best us wipe on the planet. Definitely go for the Fleet brand Enema over the House brand, especially if you tend to go through a lot of them. Glad Force Flex trash bags almost never piss me off. Aldi or Lidl brand trash bags almost always piss me off. Cheez-Its, store brand, like Aldi, just isn't the same, especially when it's flavors other than the original. This isn't true, and I'm wasting my own money. But fucking Nick will. Something about the brand name, man. DK. Cheez-Its, Oreos. Ironically more O'Meal Dino Bites over Fruity Pebbles. Shark vacuum cleaners. Lego. Tomato paste. The non-name stuff versus the triple concentrated brand paste is two entirely different products. Jif peanut butter. I will die on the hill that every other peanut butter brand sucks besides this one. I don't know about name brand, but I've learned the hard way to not trust dollar store dog poop bags. Motorcycle tires. A few square cms of ground contact keeping you upright. You want trustworthy stuff. Garbage bags. One time I bought store brand garbage bags. I almost wanted to call Glad to apologize. Opti-free contact solution. My eyes get itchy and dry so fast with generic or any other brand. I find it quite annoying that Ziploc bags are so much better than the generic alternatives. Reese's peanut butter cups and M&Ms. Off brands are just not it. Looking at you. Pommes, crayons, dish soap, shoes, butter, Ziploc bags, toilet paper, almost everything. Soda. For some reason Aleve is much better than generic naproxen sodium per the same dosage. Cheerios. I've never encountered a generic that tasted the same as the original. It's probably just artists. But colored pencils, the name brands are the good stuff. Grey Poupon Dijon mustard, Le Perrin Worcestershire sauce, red boatfish sauce. Cheez-Its, if they aren't name brand, they honestly just aren't worth eating. Heinz is top tier for canned macaroni cheese. The Tesco own brand is nasty. Anything that goes between you and the ground. Tires, furniture, shoes, beer, rolling papers, medical marijuana over random bags from a dealer. Q-tips, the generic with the plastic stem especially are just horrible. Instant oatmeal. The store brand is not as good as Quaker Oats. Pete's Coffee Beans, the original bean supplier for Starbucks. Paper goods, i.e. toilet paper, paper towels, tissue paper, etc. Pepto-Bismol, don't cheap out, your unhappy gut will thank you. Daisy sour cream. The rest all have fillers that taste funky.